Okay, and what's up? We're shooting another episode of Panda Podcast. It's your boy Rome, and today I'm interviewing Mark Thomas. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm great, bro. Nice to meet you. Not saying like I was like planning this, but this kind of just happened. So it's like I think these are the best interactions though, when you just meet somebody on the fly. So like, help me just get more familiar with you. I already know some stuff, but it's like I kind of like to hear it from the source.
Okay. Like, what do you want to know? Like,
So like,
things?
where are you from initially?
Initially, I grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania.
Oh wow.
And then I moved to more of a city area in Maryland, and then
That's fire.
eventually from there I moved to LA. LA sucked. Moved back home to Maryland, and then now
What part
I'm
of LA?
Florida. I was in North Hollywood.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to be in like the city, but like North
Yeah.
Hollywood's like city enough to where. You're
How
close
old
to
were you
everything.
when you did that?
Let me think. I think I was like 18 when I moved to LA.
Wow, that's power moves, bro.
Yeah.
18 years old doing that. Did you do it on your own?
No, so funny story actually. This kid I used to know, he used to know me more than I knew him. Like I barely knew him, but like
Okay.
when Finsta was a thing, like low key Instagrams, like
Yeah.
it's like a private story, but for like Instagram, so people had those. I knew him through like mutuals on there, and then I was in LA, and I had a flight, and I didn't have anywhere to go to just like chill for a few hours before my flight. So he was like, "Yo, like come over," and ended up talking about moving in because he had just moved into an apartment. He had an extra room he was gonna use as an office, but I eventually ended up moving in there, but. We agreed to go back to his hometown, Kansas. Drove there, and then
Okay.
drove to Maryland. Picked
From-
up my shit and
from
from
LA?
LA, yeah. And then
Wow,
drove all the
that's
way back
crazy.
across the U.S. with all my stuff in his car. He actually bought a G-Wagon while we were in Kansas.
How long was that drive?
Dude, I don't know. It
That
took
shit
us.
sounds-
I think we took like a week to get there because we stopped at a
Fuck,
few colleges.
that's
And we saw
crazy.
people. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, where so you
Um,
kind of did like a road trip, kind of like you
Oh,
were
yeah.
stopping places.
Yeah, because he's originally from Kansas, so we stayed with his family for a few days.
Okay.
We stayed at a hotel in between there, and then from there on, like if we knew anyone like almost on the way, we'd stop, say what's up, continue on the road trip.
And
keep
then
going.
after that, you ended up
in Maryland,
Okay.
and then I threw a party. I was like, "This is my going away party. I'm moving to LA, deuces," and then drove all the way back. Stayed in Kansas for a few days and kept going.
Oh, okay. And then how did you end up in Florida?
I'd always been moving back and forth there. Like I've had shows and like meet and greets there, so I always enjoyed it. And this one event playlist, I'd go there for the weekend sometimes. I don't know. I just enjoyed it a lot. The weather, the people.
Yeah, like okay. What
Probably the most genuine state I've experienced.
event playlist? What is that?
It's basically just like a big fan convention.
Okay.
Like influencers, performers, singers, like anyone
wow,
everyone
just
goes,
like-
they meet fans. Like they run out this entire hotel. They have like one part of the hotel for influencers and the rest is just for like fans that come and stay.
Oh, wow, that's kind of crazy. So do you
Yeah.
you can network and meet like other people too, probably?
Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, we all stay in one tower, so if there's like new influencers on the come up, like you'll meet them there. Like
Oh,
you know,
where?
it'd be
That's
kinda-
crazy.
It's like a big friend. It's like literally like a high school.
It's like kind of like how there's fashion week. It's like influence week. How long does it
Exactly.
take place, like that event? And how often?
Friday to Sunday every year.
Every year.
They used to do Playlist Orlando and Playlist DC, but they got banned from doing events in DC because people were acting reckless.
How reckless?
Like fire extinguishers all over the hallways, peeing off balconies. Like
Crazy. Were you
Yeah.
there for it?
I was there for it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was fun.
What's the parties like, if you don't mind? Like, because I imagine everyone who's like in that social structure, you guys are like feeling good around your peers. It's like it's probably good moments, parties, stuff like that.
For a majority of the influencers, it's kind of just like a weekend to get fucked up with each other.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like a party weekend for them, and then you have a little bit of work. Like you get to meet, you have your meet and greets, your panels, your shows, whatever. You get your work done, and then you kind of just have fun with everyone. Because rarely are there that many of the people in your space in that spot, like in one spot. Except for like Halloween. Like a lot of people go to LA for Halloween, but like
Yeah.
Playlist is like the main event to see everyone in your space.
Now I must ask you, when you're meeting these people, because they're influencers, and you already know how that does something to someone's mind. Are they like genuine people, or like what's it like?
It depends. There's different like types of influencers, obviously, and there's different types of people. But some of the newcomers are usually either innocent or they're very cocky right off the bat.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
those are probably the most two common
Okay.
in general. But everyone else is kind of
Now,
all over the place. People have their different niches.
how did you overall like accumulate your influence? Like, how did you get to be like a Mark Thomas that people care about?
I guess just learning and adapting.
Okay.
Adapting with what's going around me at the moment.
You
I
had a
mean-
song, right?
Yeah,
Like
I had a
the
few songs. Me and Tyler did a few songs together as well.
there was one he was mentioning that was like selfie or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it was the first song I released. That one went a little crazy because at the time, like, social media was so pure and raw. And obviously that was my prime, but yeah, that was...
So you were kind of like in the early stages of all this like influential growth and shit like that. Like,
yeah. Like corporate companies were not touching, so like they weren't paying anyone for social media posts. Now like Calvin Klein, like Balenciaga,
all these
Gucci, they're all doing like big brand deals like Android, Apple. They're all doing stuff with influencers. Back then it used to be like there really wasn't any like corporate at all.
Wow. So how it was then to now, like, what are some immediate changes you see? Obviously, other than like people getting paid, but like, do you think it's easier now, or was it like what?
Honestly, it depends what you consider easy. If you know how to, if you can figure it out now, it's easy. It's very easy, but it's also, in a way, a little bit harder to make revenue. I mean, it really just depends what you're doing. There's tons of different things. Like YouTube is completely different. Instagram's completely different in all sort of aspects. Like YouTube's good. If you can get your following up, it's really good passive. Like, it's almost consistent sometimes, depending what you're doing. And Instagram's kind of just, like, it comes and goes. Like, you can get long-term contracts. Like, growing on there's a little bit harder. But TikTok right now, out of everything, is probably the easiest.
Okay. Which is your biggest platform?
TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, I think, what do you have, like 4.5 million?
Yeah, 4.9.
4.9.
Yeah.
Respect. My bad. That's crazy. So, like, out of everything you've done between, like, influencing and, like, obviously meeting people and doing music, like, what do you think really makes you like not saying you think you're special, but like what makes you stand out really?
I think at the time it was like there was a small group of us that were just dominating social media. Like, so it was so new to the influencer space. Like, it was a thing, but like it was never as big as it was at the time. And like
facts, being early to stuff really helps. It's like you're cultivating it
to something that's what it is right now, like how big social media is. Like, everyone's on everything. Like,
nah, literally a lot of apps are even resurging. Like, lately I was seeing stuff on Tumblr and I'm like, wow. We're like in a day and age where like social media is so like full. People are back on apps that you would never think. Like,
no, it's crazy.
I remember at one point they were saying stuff like how Facebook was supposed to kind of fall off, and now it's like, I feel like obviously younger people don't really use it, but like people still use it. It's like obviously still a thing. They're making updates with all this stuff, so it's like,
100%. You know
what I'm saying? Like, I think that's like that's interesting. So what brings you back to New Jersey currently right now?
I'm here. One of my boys has a wedding in Jersey.
Fire.
Yeah, so celebrating that. They've only been dating for like 8 months, but they're Jewish.
Whoa.
So like Jewish, they get married very quickly.
Is that like a cultural thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I've seen, yeah. I mean, that's what
why do you think it's like that? Because I don't even know.
I don't know, honestly. It kind of just, because his another one of his peers, like, he would always come down to Miami. We'd stay together and like go out, do stuff, have meetings. And his buddy got married within like 3 months.
What? That's
and
crazy.
Like a few months later, they
got met her in Miami.
No, he didn't meet her. That's just how I know his friend that got married that quickly.
I was about to say, bruh.
That's why it didn't last too long.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not. I wouldn't really encourage somebody to do that move. That's like,
that's crazy.
So other than selfies, like, what is a more newer recent like track you've put out?
Well, I don't even know what the most recent was. Probably Used to Have You. Yeah, I mean we've had like some new shit like off and on. Like, we almost did a song for BMW that kind of fell through completely, but it was almost there.
Damn.
I mean I have a bunch of unreleased shit.
Are you planning on like resurging and putting stuff back out there? How you feeling about music?
I mean I'd get into singing again, but it just depends. Like, I'm more like what I see making sense for me, unless I like went really ham with the singing shit and like found like a tone that I really fuck with, like beat wise and like genre wise. Then I'd rather just do EDM, house music, and anything of the sort like that.
So like DJing, or would you make your own like sounds on the songs too? Because that'd be crazy. Imagine like, I'm pretty sure someone does it, but like imagine being a DJ and like you play music and obviously you're cutting up or whatever, but it's like you also got stuff that you made that you put in it. Like,
oh no, I mean every DJ, a majority of DJs go to the studio and they mix their own things. They'll do like 30-second mixes of like 6 songs or whatever. They'll mash in.
Put their own tweaks on it.
They'll make their own tweaks because it's a lot easier that way. It's not every song is gonna be as much of a mellow intro as you want it to fade it in with the next one. Like, there's a lot of DJs
to make
just edit their
transition.
Own shit. Yeah.
So you're into DJing and doing the EDM stuff?
A little bit. I'm more like, I just enjoy EDM a lot, and then I have DJ'd a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Florida's perfect for that.
Oh yeah,
it's like a party state, really. Yeah. So it's like,
I mean, if I got like to where I'm confident enough to perform at a club, I easily could, 100%.
What do you mean confident? You don't think you're there?
No.
Why not?
No, I gotta get a better I gotta get a better board. I gotta understand the things a lot more. Cause it's completely different when you're performing. Like it's cool like when you're fucking around in your apartment and like you can like think you understand everything, but the whole process is different when you're live performing, especially at a club. Cause like usually they just have one. Majority of the time, like from what I've seen, they have one designated board up on the DJ stand.
Okay.
And when a new DJ comes in, they just put in their USB drive.
And then you just kind of use the equipment right in front of you. So you kind of so you haven't done that yet, but you want to.
It's definitely a possibility. If I get more time and like I have if I'm really wanting to get into it, I'll get into it. Okay. So I think I'd enjoy that a lot.
So it's just the equipment that's holding you back, or
the equipment, the knowledge. I mean that's really it. I have everything else. Like I have the connections to. Like I have offers to perform at clubs in Florida.
Like I can see that for you, bro. You seem like you got good energy. I could just see you being like the muse at the club or just like controlling the party. Like you know what I'm saying? I think like kind of like a captain of a ship. Like that's kind of what the DJ is at the club. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of like gear everything. Like isn't there a movie with Zac Efron where he's like a DJ and they kind of like talked about. Like, just the detailing that DJs put in. I can't remember what it was called, but it was cool. Like, he used, like, an analogy of, like, where it's, like, DJing is kind of, like, following, like, the heartbeat.
That is
so it's, like, you think about, like, how people are pacing themselves at the club, and it's kind of, like, how you have to do it.
Yeah, and I still have to educate myself a little bit more, because there's definitely... I mean, there's obviously clubs with different genres, but, like, there's, like, tech house, like, deep house, like...
What's that?
Just regular house. Like, tech house is more, like, EDM-ish, but it's, like, just, like, house music. And then there's, like, deep house, which is super mellow, like, super
like
low
lo-fi
bass. Yeah, like,
flow?
lo-fi type shit. And
then where does dubstep fall into all of this?
Dubstep is just, like, way on top of house. Like, house is, like... It can get techie, like, dubstep in a way, but it's not, like, as hardcore as dubstep. Like, dubstep's, like, up there on, like, the... If, like, you put, like, on a hard scale level.
So it's kind of like just like the more polished, harder knocking type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like some clubs prefer more bass, some clubs prefer more like hi-hats and things like that.
Have you done like parties or anything, like smaller stuff? Have you dabbled with that?
No, yeah.
Man, you gotta do that. You should do it for the wedding.
I don't have anything with me. I'm not that prepared. I'm still.
That'd be crazy if you did that though.
No,
like,
that'd be fucking.
Like
badass.
just DJ the wedding, just like turn up for them. That'd be kind of lit.
I would do things like that, but like then again, like I'd have to be really fucking good. Like to do someone's wedding, like. Cause like if I go to a club and like the DJ's not good, like it's gonna ruin my time. Like I have like, cause I don't.
So you actually notice. So you're like very aware. 100%. Cause I'm about to say a lot of people are so fucked up in the club, bro.
They don't care.
I don't think anyone's ever left the club like, yo, the music was ass tonight. Unless you're really listening. Sometimes it's so loud and you're drinking. It's like all you're hearing is the like you know what I'm saying. Like you're not actually hearing anything.
No, but there's some people like I'll go like I rarely go out, but like if I have a meeting or something like I should network with someone there, like I'll go. And, like, music's, like, a big thing for me. Like, if the music's horrible, like, I'm not going to have as good as a time. Because the majority of the time I'm sober, I'm there to do something and then leave.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to go there, enjoy myself for 30 minutes, or use my 30, 45 minutes of time and enjoy myself to good music. And, like, there's one place I normally go to, and there's two really good DJs, but they rarely play. But when they go, like, it's a 10 times better time because everything, the vibe's just there.
Oh, wait, they have two DJs?
Well, no, there's two good DJs that.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say that's crazy.
Other than that, the rest are kind of just like they play like radio shit and they just cue it in together.
Do you think that's possible to have multiple DJs like
in one night?
Yeah. Well, no, like, cause I don't know what show it was. I think it's called Rap Shit on. It's like a show on like I don't know what it's on, but they were in a club scene. Obviously, it's a show, so maybe it's fake. But they're in a club scene in Florida, and there was 3 DJs. I don't know what was going on. But
on one board or
nah, they were in like separate spots. But I've
definitely seen those because I mean, there's some clubs in Miami where it's like there's like a bar area, there's an outdoor area, and there's like a little tiki hut, and they're like 3 different parts of the club. And
like,
so they're
probably
not too far from each other.
Okay.
But you can't hear the music from the other side. Like once you're in that area, you hear that DJ. Go to the next area, you hear that DJ.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. Because if they have the headphones on, he's like hearing the vibe he's putting on the out back area. He's not really hearing like the club scene and everything. That's kind of crazy. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about normal shit now. What's your like favorite type of food? Like, what's going on in your brain with that?
I go through like, dude, I don't know. It really just depends. Like I'll go through like a week of wanting Chick-fil-A, and I'll go through a week of wanting hibachi. Like it really
those are great options already. Yeah. Like what?
So. What about you?
I'm a sushi, like beef kind of guy. So I either go for like I like seafood mostly, but then sometimes I don't know, like I like beef. So
True.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, no, I go through waves. Like, I'll eat something until I'm tired of it. Like, if I really like something, I'll just keep eating it because I'm like, why not? Like, I really want that.
I try not to do that too much because I feel like sometimes like you could really like ruin it, right?
Well, no, like because like a few months later, like let's say like 6 months later, like eventually I'll get the craving back. Where I'm like, damn, like I really want that.
See, I need to learn that because I've had moments where it's like I've indulged in stuff and it's like now to this day I still don't eat it.
Really?
Like I used to like pickles, and like I can't remember when, but I indulged and I just stopped fucking with pickles, bro. Like I just don't like it no more. It's weird.
I mean, I could. There's a few things like that. Like when I'll go on tour and get like a bunch of like candies from like fans, like. I can't eat some of those candies ever again.
Yeah, because I just had so much of it.
Just like no.
It's
so there's certain things where like I make sure like if I were to ever go on tour, I'd be like, don't give me this candy, like please, like I won't eat it. I have too much of it.
It'd be like that. So you've been on tour.
Yeah, I think 4 U.S. tours I've done.
Wow, fire.
I think 2 overseas, well, technically overseas, 1 in Mexico and then 1 in Puerto Rico.
How many shows was on average on each tour?
What would you say? How many cities, Tyler? Like 26, 30 sometimes?
And the domestic tours,
Yeah, and domestic tours. And then, like, Mexico, we just did 1 show. And then I did, like, a flash meet and greet in Indonesia and shut down a mall.
Wow.
Puerto Rico was the whole weekend, so it was 3 shows.
That's fire.
Like that. 2 or 3 shows.
What were you were performing, like, your songs and stuff? Or
the
like
music I had at the time.
At the time? Okay, how old were you?
16. Around like 16 to 18, I was releasing.
Is tour life still lit for a 16-year-old, you think? Or do you think you were limited?
Tour life is dead for a lot of people, in all honesty. Like, I just saw Kid Laroi in Miami, and there was like 2,000 people there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's
that's
like
crazy.
nobody there.
Yeah,
like it was like an outdoor arena. It should have been packed. It was like half full. It was bad. Wow. For someone who has a billion streams with Justin Bieber, like
you would think
he's an A-list at this point.
Nah, he is definitely, but like that is interesting. So maybe it's just dead in general. But I was meaning more of like the experience of like
the experience.
You like how was it? Like 16, you're on tour, obviously at your status, like everyone's like, wow, look at this guy, cool as hell.
Compared to now, like if I were to go on tour again, like it'd definitely be a lot different. I mean, I'm also more established and more grown. Like even though I was at the time, like I was traveling the U.S. like 16, so like I kind of like had to stay on top of my shit, so like I had it.
Were you in school still?
I was, and then actually I might have dropped. I think I did 1 tour, and then we had to do. I think at the time I dropped out, but while we were on tour, we had to have a tutor with us legally.
So you still did school, kind of?
Yeah, in a way, but like we kind of just like sit there on our phones and act like we're reading, and that counted. She just had to like take record of that, and then we eventually like she just quit halfway through the tour. We got her to quit.
And then were you still able to like pass and like get what you needed from her?
Yeah, she just said we did our whole month of.
Wow, bro, that's kind of lit. Yeah. So what was that for? Like what grade? You said you were 16, so like was that sophomore?
I think 10th grade.
Okay, yeah.
Something like that.
Wow, bro, that's kind of fire. You just got like a free grade. So did you have to finish the rest?
Well, no, she like wasn't with our school. She was just a tutor we legally had to have on tour with us because we were all under 18.
So you're required to learn stuff?
We were required to have our schooling hours because with our work permits or whatever it was, we had to.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So in order to be working, you still need to be in school? So you can't drop out of school and just start working?
Well, no, because we were underage and doing like potentially like 10, 12, 13-hour days sometimes. Like some of the meet and greets would go on for 8 hours straight, and then we'd have a show.
Oh, like the labor law type shit.
Yeah. Wow. So you have to have, like, even when I was 18 and like way dropped out, like I was on set filming a show, and I had to get tutored for an hour during set. Like if I was there for 10 hours, I had to get tutored for an hour. Like,
so it was based on like how long you were like working based on that.
I mean, that's how it works, right? By the hours. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I never thought about that, but that does make sense. A lot of kids do get famous, and it's like you can't just forget about school.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're in college and you drop out, it's like whatever.
It's completely different.
Yeah, but like when you're like 16, you still gotta finish that. So after all that, do you still go back? Did you ever return to school with your status or no? That would have been cool though. You didn't want to try that?
I mean, I drove by my school yesterday. My old high school. I mean, it was Sunday, so it was like, or was it the day before? I don't know. But yeah, I drove past it. It's cool to see.
Yeah, I always feel like if I was ever doing something and I got famous at a really young age, I'm going to school, bro. I'm finna flex that.
Well,
status.
like everyone from my class has 3 kids or they're married. Like literally everyone. Like I go on Facebook like every once in a while, and everyone like a new kid pops up from someone from my high school.
Holy crap!
And they're all rednecks. So.
Where are you? We said.
I'm from like Bumfuck, Pennsylvania.
So like a farm area. So it's really like East Bumblefuck.
Yeah, we had like 10 acres. We had like. We had like 3 neighbors. Dude, it was. I mean, I literally think the population of my town that I grew up in was like 300 people, or like 400 people.
Fuck, bro, that's lame as hell.
I know. I mean, I had my fun. Somehow my DS, the Picto. Did you ever use the Picto chat shit?
Yeah.
On the DS, you could talk to people. Yeah.
I
Somehow my
remember that,
neighbor
yeah.
that was like almost a mile away from my house, like I could Picto chat them.
Wow.
And I was sitting there and Picto chatting with
just
them.
talking to the homie.
Yeah. But other than that, like,
That sounds
I didn't
boring,
just,
for
like-
real, for real.
I don't know, it was. I just did like farm stuff. Other than that, like I had chickens, horses, dogs. So it was
pigs
entertaining.
and all that stuff?
No,
or-
we didn't. We had a hog farm next to us, but they weren't ours.
Okay. And you knew how to ride a horse and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you're a real life, like, farm boy.
Yeah.
That's kind of fire. Do you still,
Yeah.
you ever milk the cow?
No, I had, but we never got cows.
It ain't real till you milk the
I
cow,
know.
bro.
We were going
Sorry.
to, but we would buy like a quarter of a cow from the Amish because
Yeah.
it was a lot cheaper, and like a quarter of a cow would last us like well over a winter, like a winter and a summer, and it'd be
Wow.
like $1,200 for a quarter of a cow, which would last us for like a while meat wise, like for food and shit. So like, and then the cost of buying the cow and taking care of it, it was just easier to just buy a quarter of one.
Would you say you're, like, the most famous person from where you're from?
Oh, 100%.
Right? Right? If it's 300 people,
Yeah.
it's like a farm area. It's like, bro, like,
No,
you're
yeah,
like Rocky
100%.
Balboa of that town.
There's a more popular influencer in your town.
Oh, I'd probably.
Funniest shit
Yeah,
ever.
that would suck.
300 people.
That'd be crazy. Nah, I feel like you could really go back there and, like, just get your people behind you. Like,
No.
you
They're
don't
all
think
like
so?
they're all like old rednecks. Like
Oh, yeah, they're so out of touch, actually.
they had no idea I lived there.
What about their
probably.
kids?
Who
Tap
knows?
in with the youth, bro. You could be like, look, there's another way. You don't have to live on this farm forever.
I don't know.
Come
They're
on,
very
man.
like more likely like I'd walk on their house and like step out in skinny jeans and I get shot.
It's like one of those areas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's,
It's rough out there. Damn. Nah,
it's not that like people are cool out there, but
I
like
figured.
it's so like everyone knows each other there.
Yeah,
It's a very
300
small
people.
town.
It's like, that's a high school class right there. I'm about to say,
Yeah,
my
our high
high
school class was like it wasn't. I think it was like 450, 400 people. It wasn't a lot
the whole school, though, right?
the whole entire high school, something like that.
Okay.
It wasn't
wow,
any crazy.
That's
number.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like I had 500 people in my high school class.
Damn.
Class.
Oh shit.
So not just the entire school. There's probably like 1,300 people there.
Damn.
I went to a big ass high school.
Yeah, it's pretty damn big.
Yeah.
1,300 people.
Yeah, it was like a trade school, so it was like I want to say like at most there's probably like 1,000. Let me dumb it down. There's probably like 1,000 people going there. There's probably like 300-400 people in my grade. It's
Shit.
big. Yeah.
It's pretty big for high school. I
Hell
don't really hear
yeah.
that too often.
Yeah, my class was your town.
Yeah, literally.
Like that's kind of crazy. I can't even imagine 300 people because it's like the repetition of the same faces and
Yeah.
it's kind of like dang. And then
Yeah,
what if
everyone
like
knows each other? There's like nobody that unless there was a new kid, they'd be like unknown.
oh
for
the
2
new
days.
kid is probably the
Yeah.
coolest dude ever in
Oh,
town.
100%,
Like
yeah. Until one told
That's
me he had a
kinda-
gun in his backpack in class.
what
He was like, "You're cool. Like I fuck with you." And I was like, "What?"
oh where
I'm sitting there texting my mom, and she's like, "I'm at work. I can't leave." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like this kid saying he has a
I
gun
feel like
in
in a
his
country
backpack.
area, it's probably common though. I mean, obviously,
Oh,
kids shouldn't have
100%.
guns at school, but I
No.
could see that. Like,
No, but like kids would chew dip like in the
wow,
classroom.
just young as hell, just
Yeah,
that's-
just chewing, packing chew. Yeah,
just
It's
like they're
crazy.
fucking dads and shit, just
Yeah.
ready to go home and farm. That's kind of crazy. I can never. That sounds boring.
It's fun sometimes.
How
It's fun with modernized things. Like there's like redneck things I would get now, like Can-Ams and like 4-wheelers.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
Oh,
That
like
makes it
dirt.
better. But
Okay.
like, I mean, the horse, like taking care of a horse, like it's time consuming.
You ever seen somebody get kicked by a horse?
I've gotten kicked by a horse.
What that shit feel like, bro?
I don't really remember, but
Damn, he got knocked out. So
no,
good.
it stepped on my hip and then it kicked me and my mom freaked
Damn,
out.
that shit probably
Yeah.
felt crazy though, bro.
I don't even think I really bruised that much.
Oh,
to be
word.
honest.
Maybe it was kind of like just telling you to back it up type shit.
No, because we were all sitting at a picnic table and I was tied up to the picnic table and it just got claustrophobic. Flipped the picnic table and I fell off of it and it stepped on me. And
Damn. Oh, okay. So it
hit
was
a
like
little kick. Yeah,
wow.
it was
That's
fun
kinda-
though. Cause you gotta clean their hooves, you gotta wash them, you gotta brush them, you gotta take care of them, you gotta obviously walk them. Sometimes you put steel on the bottom of their hooves so that like rocks in the summer don't burn their tissue. There's a lot of things, and like the chickens, they were pretty dumb, pretty easy to
Chickens.
take care of.
How many did you have?
Like 30.
Damn, bro, that's like
Yeah.
like 20. What, bro?
They
That's like
usually all
almost 2
die off
cartons of
within a
eggs you
year.
could be selling every day. Cause they lay eggs like every day.
Yeah, but then you have the Amish all around you selling eggs and shit. So it's
Oh,
like-
so they didn't even worry about that
No.
shit.
No, I mean we had 2 different breeds that would lay blue eggs, which is pretty sick.
Mm.
They taste a little bit better. They're like a little more sweet.
Being in like a country area like that, like how did you even like do you think leaving was what was mad crucial in you wanting to be on the internet? And because you said you did this early, right?
Yeah, well, I was on the farm till like 13. Or, like,
Okay.
14. So I wasn't there too long, and then I moved to more of like a. Even the town I moved to only had like 1,200 people in it or something like that. I think maybe 3,000 at the most. So it was still very small.
I feel like those.
It was a
years-
little. It was a lot less country. Like it was a townhouse. It was like a conjoined house with one other person.
Also, a little more townhouses, like
Yeah, it was
area.
literally a townhouse. Just it was a house split in half.
Oh, word.
So it was cool. I mean, it was. We had
That
like,
had to be crucial, bro, because I feel like coming from a farm and like somehow being on social media and you're handling it well, like that's not like a normal transition. So it's like
yeah, no.
that
No,
had to like
it was definitely completely different, but like I don't know, it just felt fine. I mean, like so, like I had an iPod, and then I had like a little Kindle. I'll go on Facebook on. So I got
Kindle,
used to it that way, and then
yeah.
eventually like I found like live apps and like certain different
And-
apps I would just go on and kind of have fun on.
Are you like the only like influencer in your family, basically? Like,
yeah.
I
Well, my
figured-
sister sings,
Oh, fire!
so she's trying
What's
to
she
do
do? Like pop or something?
she does whatever. Like she's done country, she's done pop. Like she's always sang. She was always like the singer of the family. Like we would go to like our county fairs and farm
And she would
fairs,
sing.
and she would sing.
That's
Yeah.
lit. So she always like knew she wanted to do that.
Yeah, she always knew that. She's really good.
Are you guys technically the most famous family from where you're from?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to give you some accolades,
Yeah,
bro.
no,
you
I
know what I'm
know.
saying?
Mm.
What was the first thing that like got you noticed? Like, was there like a line? Was there something that was like went
Yeah.
viral? Like, what made MagCon recognize you?
Well, by the time MagCon hit me up, like I was all over the internet at that point. And like Instagram, like everything was so different back then. Like Instagram, like I would post on my story, like repost this photo, hashtag happy birthday Mark, and I'd be trending like all over Instagram, like on the Explore page for everyone for like a day. And like you can't do that now. You can't go trending on the Explorer page for the entire day in front of everyone that has Instagram. Like now it's
True.
completely
kinda
filtered, like
catered
AI,
to
like-
areas and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so like
what got you that initial like couple thousand followers, couple?
Like what broke?
it was just
the internet
gradually.
for you.
Like I don't think there was really anything like right off the bat that blew me up. Like, it was all kind of gradual, and then the whole like cringy thing came in. Like Rice Gum started to blow up, so like he started doing videos on all of us, and then that was definitely a big push to like a different audience that like obviously I wasn't getting. I think that
Rice
definitely
Gum, that's
brought-
that like is he a YouTuber?
Yeah, he's a YouTuber,
right?
YouTuber streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even.
He's
really
pretty
know
up
post
there.
anymore.
Yeah,
No, he's
but-
big. I mean, everyone knows who he is.
What was he
like, the social
doing? You
media
said he
space.
was.
He was like my friend group. Yeah, I'd say friend group at the time. Like the group blowing up on social media at the time. Like he would just watch videos of them and roast them. And that was like the very first stage of just like people getting shit on like
On
publicly
just
on the internet.
yeah.
So it was like people went crazy over it. And like his videos have what I think like 12 million views. One of his videos, the one with me.
That shit blew up.
Yeah,
What they were cringing on it or something?
yeah. And then my friend at the time. Yeah.
That's
Made
kind
that
of brilliant.
song blow up.
Sometimes hate is a good like attention factor.
Yeah,
Just
I
pay
mean,
someone to hate on this. Be like, hey, talk shit.
Yeah, I
get
mean,
views.
the first manager I was with, that's what he did with Pump, like Lil Pump. Like the
Mhm.
majority of the music he released, like it's all like purposely shit because they wanted to blow up. Like
they
Gucci
wa-
Gang, like is like the stupidest song ever, but like one, it gets stuck in everyone's head, and two, everyone's gonna meme it.
Yeah.
The biggest like key to anything is getting people to meme it because
Nah,
it spreads more than anything.
Yeah, people kind of will remember a good laugh. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
100%.
That's kind of brilliant. I never thought about it like that. Imagine
Yeah.
like paying someone, be like, hey, publicly say this is the worst song you've ever heard. Thank you.
Yeah. So he was like
$5,000.
the Selfie song release was like supposed to be shit. It was it's like a perverted song for like a 15-year-old to be singing. 16-year-old
Jeez,
to be
that's
singing.
cringe.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I mean, it went viral because of that. I mean, obviously my fans liked it because they were my fans and they're gonna enjoy it. But
Oh,
like
so
at
you,
the same time, like you also have the other side hating on it. So like
Because
they're
of
sharing
that.
it and saying it's like this and that. They're making memes out of it. So like that's how it kind of conjoins and blows up. You get the sales from your fans, and then you get the views and publicity from randoms that don't like you.
yeah, it's the beautiful thing in a way. Especially if you got like a good mentality where you just don't care. It's almost
Yeah.
like thank you. Like
Yeah.
you sharing this to your friends, saying like, look how ass this is.
I mean, if you willingly
Works.
go into it, you have to be expecting that. Like
yeah.
even like Danielle Cohn, like she's made some songs. Like I know she's another influencer that she
Uh-huh.
definitely didn't fully like, but did
Okay.
it because she knew people were just gonna spread it around and be like, oh look at this girl, she's making music.
Wow, that's like marketing
And
genius right
yeah,
there.
I mean it brings in everything. Like it brings in the attention, it brings in the views, it brings in followers.
I feel like that's the day and age we live in. Like people will hate stuff and they go out of their way to see the things they hate to let you know
Exactly.
they hate it.
Yep.
So essentially, it's feeding the algorithm and it's keep bringing in more traction. So it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
No, it
like
definitely helps a lot. It's a little trick with social media. Like one pissing people off will get you very far. In a way.
Yeah, I was about to say you
In
don't
a
want to
way.
like take it the
No,
6ix9ine route
no,
like
no.
all the way. But
Well, then again, like 6ix9ine, like fucking kills it. Like,
Nah.
he is very controversial. Is very good depending.
like
how you do it.
financially, business wise, he's doing good. But like I'm talking about like
In the rap game, no.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the sentiment of like let's say if 6ix9ine wanted to actually be like I'm a hip hop artist or some shit, he'll never have that status. But is he someone who's famous? Yes. Like
He doesn't care
Yep.
though.
Yeah.
He's worried about money.
literally.
That's
oh,
why, like,
absolutely.
if, like anyone worried, like anyone scared to step over a bridge or like step on some toes, like in the industry, to do better for yourself financially or your business, like they just want to be good in the business. Like they want to be respected in that
Yeah.
lane.
Yeah, you definitely want the respect of your peers and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you care about the respect of like influencers and stuff?
No, not really. I mean, I just don't. I don't live in LA anymore. Like that was kind of just like me. Like obviously, like being on my own, being independent, not having to be around those sort of people to.
You think
do
it
well
does
for
that
myself.
when you're like around them? You tend to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
It's completely different. Like my Florida friends to my LA friends. Like in LA, it's always like. I mean, it depends because I have a really good friend group out there, and they're very solid and very like
Yeah.
genuine, as like majority of everyone else is not. So I'd say I have a really good friend group out there. So like when I'm out there, it's super genuine. Like, oh, I got this brand deal. Like I got free stuff from this company. Like you should hit them up. This and that. Like usually it's more like a selfish, like not trying to help.
Yeah, they're
others,
not
but,
trying
like,
to put you on game and stuff like
yeah,
that.
so it's more like I'm out there and they're like, oh, we gotta film this today. We gotta do this. Like we should do that. And then we're all just kind of like helping each other out, like giving each other ideas, like adding value to each other in a
It's
way.
kind of lit. You
In like a
wanna
friendly way.
win.
Like we're all like close as shit, but like we'll do all those things for each other, which is completely different from what I have in Florida, which is my friends that are like, they go to college or like they're trying to do more entrepreneur things, which is almost the same thing, but at the same time it's different because the influencer space is so time consuming and different. Like it's a whole lifestyle. Like you
Yeah.
don't- if you want to go hard in that space, it has to be your lifestyle.
Wow, it's like a full time commitment all
Yeah.
the way.
I mean, like I've seen James Charles up till 10 a.m. in the morning, like editing a video, and like he has like when I was at his apartment, his entire apartment is like a studio, like it's a studio room and his closet,
all
like,
working space basically for him
all
to
of it,
just.
yeah. And then he had like, I think he was working on some makeup brand. He had makeup all over his apartment, like different samples and shades, and like literally his entire apartment was his like influencer space.
That's kind of crazy. So you knew James Charles? That's cool.
Yeah, I knew him for a little bit, and then he blew the fuck up. Like he just went crazy.
Yeah.
Like started hanging out with Kylie and.
Yeah, all the way. He went
Kardashians
all
and
the
all
way. all the way, bro.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. So what? Like we could leave it on the end note of like, for someone out there who wants to be an influencer or possibly venture into that lifestyle, what is like a gem you could give them?
Depending on what you're doing, just trying to make people mad. In all honesty, like there's
You said try to make people mad?
In a way, I mean, you want to like get
I
under
love it.
people's skin. Like,
No, I feel you.
I'm doing this financial course sort of thing, and like the kid, one of my partners in is like stupid loaded, and like he has like any car you can think of, like any basic like dream car, like STO, like C63, like literally everything. I'm like, dude, like you need to post more things like, oh, this stupid minivan parked in front of my Lambo, I can't even get in it. Like my friend was doing that, and they were blowing up every time. Like you just have to be like. You have to flaunt your shit. Like if he were to flaunt his shit more, he would go viral a lot more. Cause people are like,
By
oh,
wearing his
look at
cars
this
and
kid,
shit?
like showing off his lifestyle.
How did he get those cars though?
His family, obviously. But like whatever space you're in, I'd find a way to get under
Yeah,
people's skin.
people
Because it's
wanna
gonna get views and attention.
True,
because-
if you flex it, like the internet, no one takes the time to fully do like research, so they'll just see that shit, have a reaction, and then
yeah.
So
And also, don't focus on being likable for other people. Just do what you do. People are gonna like you. You just gotta figure out like just do whatever
True,
you want.
Yeah.
Don't be attainable to be a likable by someone. You're not gonna enjoy it.
I feel like you don't, because you essentially you can't get everyone to like you or appreciate what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
so
you'll hate the space trying to do that.
Yeah.
Being a people pleaser in the influencer space. Good luck.
no, facts, you'll go crazy. Like
You'll literally
how
go
can I literally
crazy.
make everybody like me or something? Like
Yeah.
it's just
No, just be you and stay in your lane, and not stay in your lane, but figure out what you're good at and what the people like.
I like
That's the
that.
best thing to do.
What were you saying, Tycho? You threw me off with that.
Like his businesses, like his cars.
Oh,
Oh yeah, tell him. How did you get to the status?
No, like his business, like
Oh.
outside of influencers. Like
Oh.
he has like businesses, like he has gyms and.
Oh yeah, you don't you own the gym that's in like that a lot of celebrities and influencers go to in Miami, right? Or,
starting
like,
to
part-
yeah.
okay.
It's new. So
What's
my
it called?
BTB Boca. It stands for Big Time Boxing.
Big Time Boxing.
Yeah, so it started out as a boxing club, and now it's more of like a gym. We have everything in there, like a medical center, gym, boxing lessons.
You should have like a space literally where it's like you can make like workout TikTok videos.
We want to. I mean,
That'd be
it's hard to
fire.
get mirrors everywhere because there's so much wiring with the equipment we have. So we have wires all over the wall. So we're trying to find some sort of like, there's like an absorbent glass where if you touch it, it looks like liquid, but it's like it can't crack or anything. You can really put it over anything. So we're trying to get quotes on getting something like that because putting up hard glass, one, it's expensive, and two, be a pain in the ass putting over all the wires, and like it'd be a fire hazard. We probably get in trouble for that. So.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate goal of it, is to have it be like there's places like Dog Pound in LA that Leonardo DiCaprio, Justin Bieber, like the Kardashians, Kylie, like Hailey Bieber, they all go there. And that's kind of like what I want it to be. But also I want to, hopefully in the long term, go commercial with it.
Hell
So
yeah,
I think
bro. That
that's the
sounds
all-time goal.
like already a cool idea. And I feel like using your influence, you can make it like, obviously it's a gym. Anyone can come here and work out, but like cater it to more of like someone who also wants to maybe make content around their workout, like make it a more comfortable space for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Like, we mainly train only athletes because like our equipment is like the people that can afford our private training are like, they have busy schedules. Like, they only have an hour to work out a day, or like 45 minutes. So like they come in, train with my partner, and like they're done. Like they're done.
And
for the
someone
day.
else is coming in.
That's the goal. Like, I hate going to the gym, like having AC blow on me, like having to work out for 2 hours to feel good, like it was a good workout.
Yeah.
I can go in there for 30 minutes and be like, damn, that was a solid fucking
Yeah,
workout.
I like working out that way too. I think
Yeah.
it's ridiculous when people are in the gym for 2 hours. I feel like you get a
waste
lot
the
done.
entire day. I know people that sit in there for like 4 hours. I'm like,
30
what are you
minutes to
doing?
an hour, you could literally like get everything you need done.
Yeah.
Especially if you're actually working out, not just like standing around
Exactly.
and like.
Yeah.
You know,
I get the socializing, but there's a point where you're just wasting your time. Like, you have
Yeah.
nothing else to do besides sit in a gym and like act all cool all day.
Yeah.
Like,
And what-
I'd rather go in and get my shit done and work out.
What other businesses do you have too?
Well, I don't know. I dabble in a lot of things. Like, I'm trying to test the waters with a lot of things. Like, get my hands on everything.
Also,
And
like
just to see
entrepreneurship, really, just
Yeah,
like seeing.
just to
okay.
see what's worth the time, one, and the profitability of it. If it's worth putting the time into it, and if it's gonna make me a lot of money in the future. If I can scale into it. If I can't scale into it, like, unless it's low maintenance and I can spend like an hour on it like a week, like, I'm not gonna stay into it.
Oh yeah,
So
true.
it's like I'm just testing things out. Like, I'm growing coral out of a saltwater tank.
What?
Selling baseball cards out of my apartment. Like,
Elaborate
growing
on
live
the
and-
coral.
The coral. So like, I just bought a saltwater tank, literally probably like the size of this.
Uh-huh.
And I have live rock in
Okay.
there. So like, I'm creating an environment for coral to live in.
Actually, like start to
Yeah.
form one.
So I'll buy like,
That's
I'm gonna buy
wavy,
like
bro.
1/4-inch frags of coral, and I'll place them out, and then grow them. I mean, there's certain like chemicals and certain foods and proteins you can put in to get better colors out of the coral, and then eventually once they grow, you cut it up, or it's called fragging. You frag it, and then you sell it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's the market like for that?
Crazy. I
Like-
mean, like, for example, like, some of the quarter frags, like, you can get them for $1,000, $200,
That's crazy.
$5. Like, it all just depends. It's a very dependable
If
market.
So is there like a lot of fake ones?
No, you can't really fake because it's a live animal.
Really?
Yeah, so like, you can't post it on Facebook Marketplace.
Thing on the rock. Like,
No.
so that
No,
thing's
they're-
alive.
Yeah, no, they're alive. Yeah, even the rock, the dry rock that I put in there, eventually once it's in the tank, it's gonna be alive because all the bacteria and organisms are gonna start growing on it. So like, I can't post on Facebook Marketplace like coral for sale. It's illegal because it's an animal. You can't go and post a cow on Facebook Marketplace and be like, for sale. So you can post photos and like showcase it. But besides the point, the market's crazy because like,
You
in
can do
Florida,
the
there's-
not for sale thing.
Yeah.
You know the not for sale, like how you just hashtag it.
oh yeah,
not
yeah,
for
yeah.
sale, so
Yeah.
it's like you can still sell it.
Yeah, you can do that. That works.
But what were you gonna say about?
I mean, we go fishing on barges,
Yeah.
and they'll take like a ship in Florida, and they'll put coral on it, and they'll sink it because they'll create a reef out of that. Eventually, in like 10 years, it's gonna be a bigger reef than the ship they sank with all the coral on it. They're like creating natural habitats for it. So there's that, obviously,
Wow,
That's
kinda
like the-
crazy. I didn't
kinda
even
like-
know that.
in a way, like a corporate way to go about it. And then people just pay a shit ton of money for fish tanks and like exotic looking
with
things
the
in their fish
cool
tanks.
stuff in it.
Yeah, because like a majority of coral that people grow is from like Indonesia or the Japanese Sea, like those seas. Like, there's some really cool looking exotic shit out of there. So, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's like almost like a science class I'm learning. Like I'm learning how to make a fake environment for these things to live and grow and
like
change colors.
Growing weed almost.
Literally.
How did you get into that? Like, is that just a Florida thing or like?
No,
like,
it's not at all. I mean, I've never heard of it. I don't know how I've never thought of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
It's crazy. It's a lot to learn, but it's definitely worth it. But this kid I know, his buddy's doing it out of his garage, and he has like 3 or 4 tanks. He's making like $200K a month. And then he himself has like a 6-foot tank that he can make probably $50K a month out of. And he's really smart with it. Like he has distributors that there's only 7 people in the United States that can distribute coral overseas, like in and out overseas. So he knows one of those guys, and he's helping me out with everything. Like there's frags and like certain things he's getting over in Japan that he's getting for an $85 a piece, but over here he can flip it automatically for $400 a piece. So like, he's got like really good connections in this industry, and like that's not even that grown. Like when it's grown, like he's like crazy already in profit. So, yeah, it should be sick. I'm excited for it. 1, it'll look sick as fuck in my apartment. 2, I'll get to learn
just
how
walking
to make,
in and seeing that shit. Yeah,
get to make a fake environment for something to live in that sits at the bottom of the ocean, and then make some money off of it.
Wow, it sounds like an overall just like a learning and fun experience.
Yeah. Plus, I can scale into that if it's good. Like it's very. If I'm able to teach someone to do it, get some employees under
that could be the skill you sell.
I mean, he's already down. Like this kid's got crazy capital for how young he is, but eventually scale it into an in-person store, an online store, like a huge brand. So that's kind of like what I'm looking for, like things to scale into like that, just like to try out. Like the baseball cards I started, like we're moving that around, just like testing it out. It's been like 4 months, and we're just seeing over the next 2 months if it's gonna be worth it going on forever. I mean, you should wait like longer on a company than that, but at the same time, like,
to see if it, like,
I want to know quickly like if it's gonna be worth it or not. We're gonna have to put 2 years into this before we start seeing it being worth our time.
And how's it going so far, do you think?
It's good. The profit margins are hard because the product is so expensive, and you can't really do much about that. It's just the product is like we'll have like 20 different boxes of cards in a case. We'll buy cases, and like some of the cases are like 3,000 to 6,000, and I'll have like 20 boxes, and we auction them off like an Instagram live. So people sit there and they'll bid live on like a box of cards.
Like, do you get the cards like certified so that
you can? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have to take really good care. We have to put them in a slip. We have to put them in like a sleeve, and then we have to package them carefully in case people want to go get them graded.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So do you do that every time for year? Like, do you charge them more? Let's say it's a card that's verified. Like, I'm just curious.
Well, no. So we buy like the boxes that like a verified card will come in.
Oh, so it's already like you already know like this is prestige, like it's worth something, like whatever.
No, so you'll have a box. You will buy like a brand, like a Topps Chrome is like a certain type of card.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll buy the case of them, and it'll come in different boxes. And then so people will put like 3 different brands of boxes in. They have baseball cards in them.
Yeah.
And then people will buy the teams, and then when we open the cards, whatever teams they bought, they get every card that's with that team.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of
you
like,
go through for them kind of.
Yeah, we open packs for them on live. I mean, they can buy personals from us and everything, but we open packs on live and like show everyone what they got, and like we ship them right away. That's like, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's kind of
like it's like a consumer. Like I put like $2,000 into it my first month, just like on the app, like bidding shit. And I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta enjoy it myself. So I have
so
like,
you kind of got.
I can actually like talk about it and like be confident about it, and like, dude, it's fun as shit.
That sounds cool.
But it's a gamble, but like it can definitely be profitable being a consumer, but it's really just a hobby. People love it. Like sports fans go crazy.
Yeah, I could see them. It's like exciting. It's just anything collectible based, really, or just like card. Like that stuff is always gonna be timeless because like people just like that stuff. Like anything.
Exactly.
Like I like that.
We've got some crazy shit, but there's guys on that platform like absolutely killing it. Like this one guy's 11 pages, and they're making like I don't even know how much they're making, but like
that's probably
to get
lot,
low.
bro.
Like they have crazy low percentages with the app. They have a certain structured deal with them, and to get that structured deal, you have to be selling over $1 million a month in product. That's not always profit because like our
$1 million a month in product, like, bro. That's crazy.
In like 4 months, we've sold like 320,000 in product or like in sales, but we've profited like almost 30,000. So the margins are low. So like you could sell $10 million and only pocket 600K. That's just because the product is so expensive.
Yeah, you have to like kind of put back into.
Yeah, so like the 3 boxes we'll like put out in like one bid. Like it'll cost us like $750, but we'll sell each slot of like 30 teams or whatever, baseball teams for like $45 to $50, and we'll start at a minimum. And we just want people to, if they bid up, we're obviously making good money. But if they're only doing straight at bid, like 45 and it costs us 40, we're only making $5 a slot. And the cost is 40.
Wow, that's kind of like a fun way to gamble in a way.
Yeah.
It's just like a different form of it in a way.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like sports betting, but on physical cards.
Yeah, I was about to say, but on the cards this time. Yeah, that's kind of wavy as fuck. Bro, you're like cool as hell to talk to, bro. I really enjoyed this. That. Like, I felt like going in, I thought I was going to just speak to an influencer, but it's like, you're also like a businessman. You got the gym, you got the cards, you doing the coral reef stuff. Yeah. Like, bro, come on. How many people you know out here trying to sell that? Like, that's
nobody. I've only met one other person.
There we have it. I like to, like, after we wrap this up, if you have any photos or anything, I'd like to see it.
Like, I have examples of, like, things that my boy's doing, like, online, but, like, my shit's not set up yet. Okay. I bought a bunch of things for it, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Because he told me, he was like, yeah, they sent this one YouTuber 2 million subscribers, like, a $10,000 tank set up. And I was like, I'm just going to start hitting people up. Yeah. And right after I bought rock for the tank, I got, like, $800 in free rock. And I was like, are you serious? I just spent $380 on this rock just to get it for free. So
how long does it take to grow, like, on average?
I mean, it depends because there's different breeds and different species of certain things. Like, some of them, it also depends on your environment. There's, like, 1,000 factors that go into it. So it's like...
But is there, like, a time frame of, like, let's say you have a good setup, you know what you're doing, this is, like, an easy one to start or whatever, like, what is the average?
Some of the starters, like, the really, really easy ones, anywhere from, like, 3 months to a year. But there are some, like, the way they're doing it, like, the way my boy's doing it and his boy and, like, everyone he knows in the industry, like, they're really good at it. Like, they, like, whatever work he does the best at.
Okay.
His words. But, you can do it, like, month to month. Like, you can be snipping and, like, selling coral, like, month to month. You just have to be doing it right. Your system and ecosystem has to be flourishing enough to be growing that fast, and the species has to be right. So, like, realistically, anywhere, if you got it down a month to 6 months to see some really
like to actually see, like, progress. That'd be, I could envision, like, a cool time-lapse video of that. I think you should do that.
I'd love to do time-lapse. I've only seen a few people do time-lapse. I think if I start branding it out and looking to build it into a company, I'll start doing more, like, content-focused things like that. Like, I'll do the basic stuff for now. Like, there's, like, a tube you can buy, and, like, you put the camera in the tube, and it goes down. And you can
actually see. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's, like, I'm blown away. I never thought I'd be sitting here thinking about growing, like, coral reef and shit. But, like, that was, like, amazing, bro. I really enjoy speaking to you. Mark Thomas.
Yes, sir.
One and only. Thank you for coming on the Panda Podcast, bro. I appreciate this conversation, and this was, like, a good time, man.
Anytime.
All right.
Come on whenever.
Yeah, I was about to say, but we probably bring you back, bro, because I want to know more.
Probably.
We check up on the next progress of the coral reef.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
might take a little bit.
All right, it's your boy Ron. We out.